expectation, you freeze, and you're like, you just pay me as per my skill. I remember I can even go up to 500k, but that is just a dream. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Charity, a certified nutritionist practicing in Kenya, and I'm a mental wellness advocate. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. If you're coming back, thank you so much for your support. Also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay tuned or up to date with all nutrition and nutrition related. So today being a Tuesday, welcome to Nutrition Talk, and today I'm going to talk about a part 2 of the commonly asked nutrition questions. This is just a video to help someone who is thinking about getting into the nutrition field, someone who is thinking about staying in the nutrition field, or someone who is thinking about, you know what, I'm tired of nutrition, what's next? I'm your girl. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll keep on singing until I get to my goal. Yeah. Let's start. The first commonly asked nutrition question I will talk about is, what is the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist? And this is the most commonly asked question because people tend to interchange the terms, and some of us don't understand, okay, what's the difference? They all deal with food, but in some different region, a dietitian goes to school, get formal education, maybe for 4 or 5 years, go for an internship, and they get the credibility and license to practice. And someone out there can just be a nutritionist. Someone can go online, take a nutrition certificate, a nutrition course, and they call themselves a nutritionist. So it just depends with what region you're in. But as per the Kenyan and African context, nutritionists go to school, get the same education as most of these dietitians, and we are also licensed by credible board. Like in Kenya, had spoken earlier, we are licensed by the KNDI, that is the Kenya Nutrition and Dietetic Institute. After you're going for a 1-year internship and you're well assessed to be able to practice whichever area of interest you've chosen. Most dietitians can be nutritionists, but we find that some of the nutritionists cannot be dietitians, have the credibility, they don't have the license, they are not certified by any board. So it's very, very important, especially if you're in the African setting, African countries, when someone tells you they're nutritionist and they want to offer you advice, please ask for their credentials, assess and ascertain their credibility to be able to offer you the service that you want. Yeah, so it's very, very important to know the difference, and it's just a whole topic point. Second commonly asked questions is, if I decide to go into nutrition, what are some of the units, some of the programs I'm going to encounter as a nutrition student, or someone who is just thinking, okay, you know what, I want to be a nutritionist, I'm going back to school to refresh course and everything. Yeah, human anatomy. I used to love this particular unit when I was in campus for my undergraduate and also for my postgraduate. Chemistry, this was the most difficult and the most hardest one. And I know every medical personnel in terms of doctors, nurses, pharmacists, I know most of you have also studied biochem. Science, of course, in our course, it's Bachelor of Science, Food, Nutrition and Dietetics. Of course, the food science aspect of it, we also studied it. We also went, we dealt with some menu planning and all those things. We have clinical nutritionists now to get the theoretical aspect of when you decide to venture into clinical nutritionist, that is the nutrition assessment, diagnosis, intervention, and follow-up. Yeah, community nutrition. I remember we went for a field trip when I was in my undergraduate. It was very nice. Yeah, so you go to the community to deal with just creating awareness and putting nutrition measures in place to help people, especially those who are malnourished, pregnant and lactating women. And you go into the community to just create awareness around what healthy eating and what nutrition is. And we have diet planning. Of course, we know all these things. We go to school, you know how to prescribe a diet for someone with a specific medical conditions and all that. I used to enjoy some of these units, and I feel like those are the basis of what pushed me to create content around this particular area. Third commonly asked question is, type of clients do nutritionists actually sort out, or the clients sort out nutrition for? And people want to improve their lifestyle in terms of healthy eating, just improve their general wellness. I feel like those are the number one people who sort or work with nutritionists. Specific health conditions such as diabetes, kidney diseases, hypertension, obesity, that is weight management, underweight, those people want to gain weight the healthy way, among others. And then with sleep, those people who want to venture into sports nutrition. And guys, if you're passionate about sports nutrition, there's a niche and a gap for nutritionists to go and create awareness around that. I feel like that is also lacking when I do my research and I go online and see what people are talking about. I feel like a lot of people are not talking about sports nutrition, and I feel like if that is your passion, please go for it. The elderly, especially we call them geriatrics, they have increased nutrient requirement because of the aging and most of these conditions and old age and all that. Just the community, like I said in the previous point, creating awareness around community. And I feel like those marginalized communities that are not able to get these services can be able to get, especially from our community health nutrition. The asked question is, are there ethical consideration for nutrition or in the nutrition field? And this I will say yes. So come listen. Yeah, it is very, very important. You as a nutritionist, you have to maintain a level of credibility and trust, and you can achieve this by maintaining clients' confidentiality. I think I keep on repeating on this particular YouTube channel. Be credible. Don't just spread your clients' information if you have not sought out their permission. Don't use their pictures, don't use their stories if they have not allowed you to do it. Evidence-based advice. Keep on reading, share evidence-based advice to these people. Don't just promote hearsay, because hearsay, what will differentiate you from someone out there who doesn't have a license or a certificate or anything to just create spread information around that. Avoid conflict with your clients, avoid conflict with your governing board, avoid conflict with your healthcare team if you're working in the hospital. Just try to maintain level of professionalism when you're practicing. So it's very, very important to keep that in mind when you're going into doing nutrition or just starting your journey as a practicing nutrition. Is how is networking important in the field of nutrition? It's very, very important, guys, to network. And I keep on telling you guys, keep on networking. Don't ever stop. I wish we had a course in school to tell us about the importance of networking, the importance of maintaining old friends, especially if you're intern or an attaché and you work with this experienced nutritionist. It's good to stay in contact with them. They'll be able to help you in the near future. There's LinkedIn, a lot of professionals are there. Go network. Yeah, it's very, very important, and here's why. And for your career growth, I feel like if you're into digital content creation, you want to start your own business, it's good to network so that you can grow your career from this point to the next point. You're just a beginner nutritionist, you want to transition into a senior, you have to keep on networking and keep on advancing and just meeting with these experienced nutritionists to help you do that. Finding job opportunities. By the way, my previous job, I got it via LinkedIn, so I don't dismiss some of these jobs I come across on LinkedIn. I apply if I feel like I want to continue sharpening my skills in the clinical nutrition aspect or just digital content creation. So it helps you stay informed with the latest trends, latest information, especially if you're in these groups that are constantly sharing evidence-based information from your peers. Guys, thank you so much for people who are supporting my LinkedIn. If you've not followed me on my LinkedIn, please, the link will be in the description box. This is my username on LinkedIn. Go follow. I share a lot of nutrition and nutrition related evidence-based information simplified, so that even if you don't have time to create the content, you can share with your clients such content and it will be able to help them even if they're too busy to actually go and research. So you'll get a lot of links to conferences, webinars, physical conferences or online conferences, webinars, workshops to just help you sharpen your skill as a beginner nutritionist, as a practicing nutritionist, or as a nutrition student. Question, commonly asked question: what is the salary expectation of a nutritionist? This question is usually asked when you go for an interview, and I feel like most of us do not know how to answer this question, because when you ask what is your salary expectation, you freeze and you're like, you just pay me as per my skill. I remember just say, if you just pay me as per my salary, per my skills, like you've seen my skills and all that, it was not a good way to answer that question. So it's good to go and research more on what are the salary expectations. I'll just base this according to the Kenyan market, and some factors influence how your salary will be. And the first one, education, your level of education. If you're a diploma holder, if you're a certificate holder, if you're a degree holder, if you're a master's holder and you're a PhD holder, you'll be paid differently, because the more you advance in your studies, the more you become sort of like a consultant in your field. Your experience, of course, if you've stayed in the market longer, you have a lot of market experience, hands-on experience, practical experience. Of course, you'll be paid more than someone who is just starting. Location, if it's remote, if it's hybrid, if it's on site, if it's going to the hospital, if you're working for pharmaceutical companies and all that. Of course, they'll factor in your fare, allowance, and your living allowance and all that, and it will be different from someone who is working from home. Yeah. Type of employment, if it's public sector, if it's private sector, if it's business owned, you'll be paid differently. Yeah, so it depends with all these factors. So if you're going or you're applying for a job, factor in the salary based on these factors, so that you don't feel disappointed when you get there and you're not paid enough. And I will not lie to you guys, nutritionists in Kenya are paid in peanuts. I feel like we are not yet there with seeing how important nutrition is in the healthcare sector. And on average, if you you know where to invest, I feel like a startup person or an entry job, you're paid 30 to 40 range depending on which job group. And then as you advance in your level of education, your experience and all that, it can even go up to 500K, but that is just a dream. But I know that is private, public sector, but with the private sector, it's you to negotiate your own salary. But I know most of the private sector, the startup salary is usually 35K. Yeah. Don't ask me how I know, but I do. So it's you to negotiate, especially if you have a mass skill, such as for me, it's digital content creator, nutrition educator, communication skills. Like you do all this necessary specialization I talked about in the first video to set yourself aside from someone. When you're going to negotiate for your salary, you're like, you know what, I have this skill that I can input and they can work to improve your organization. I have this level of education. I'm working on improving myself, so I need my salary to also reflect that. You have to be very aggressive as nutritionists. I feel like because you're hustling to get a job, we just take the bare minimum. We don't fight for what is right for us. That's all I had for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you stay till the end, I really appreciate you guys so much. I hope this episode will be able to help you make an informed decision. I wish someone had this particular channel when we were starting nutrition. Some of us would be very far, you know. Yeah, so I'm like your big sister, so don't forget to subscribe. Click that red button. It's just bouncing on my screen and it's right there in the corner. Just click and subscribe. Turn off the post notification to get notified every Tuesday at 10 a.m. when a new episode is out. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms at charitysafehaven, where I share nutrition and nutrition related issues. Yeah, and my brand is launching very soon, so be on the lookout for that. So until next time, I've been yours. Bye bye.